Hello again. This is a special video in the Frog News about the FMAGs, in particular FMAG 556. So already beginning this year, new FMAG model, the FMAG V8, was available and the capacity was 56 rounds. And people were asking when it will be available to download. It was supposed to be released already a long time ago, but due to some complication with the supplier of the springs, it was not really possible, as maybe the version would basically need to change very quickly. Right now we have a final supplier of the springs, let's hope, delivering them for the FMAG V8.1. So we increased the capacity on the FMAG compared to previous versions from originally 32 rounds to 58 rounds. So this year is also a year of capacity. We are increasing the capacity of the magazines as promised. People basically would like to have more ammo, so we listen to their opinion and we try to satisfy the market. So here, original Frog Engineering full plastic V8.1 mags, no resin used anymore. Very robust design compared to the previous ones, and they come in three colors: the green, dark earth, or a black magazine. And already for some time now, when you are buying the kit, you can choose from these colors. So we stay with it. 3 mags per kit, more available. Mags are 3D printed. Again, standard thing, will be uploaded on the codes. As I said already, version 8 was supposed to be uploaded and many people waited for it, I know, but the design was supposed to change anyway due to this thing with the supplier, right? So now they will be published on the codes. You can also print them and build your own mags. Of course, as always, the Frog Engineering mags retain the bolt catch function in all the Frog Engineering design guns. So this is the VFC 556 system for HK 416 or AR-15 type guns, or the GHK with Frog Engineering conversion. All your AR-15, HK 416 type guns from WE. Or the super popular MWS system. And you could ask, is it possible to get even more rounds soon? Unfortunately, not really. The magazines remain single stack mags. Double stack is not possible. I know you already asked me this many times, and you know, it was not supposed to be possible to reach even 58, right? 42 was supposed to be the maximum. And here actually this is an interesting story I will share with you, because it has some value. So this was in the last Christmas period. I was preparing lots of magazines for the next year, and I upgraded my printing capabilities with some new printers, okay? So I resigned from the original resin material, which apart from a weird color, it was very specific, it was easy to break. There was an issue that with the temperature, the material was not stable, so for example, it could warp. Maybe if it lied around for too long, it would warp too, and you needed to heat it up and put it into the gun so that it gets the proper shape again. So very bad material, and I decided to replace it with the plastic material. As I said previously, it was not feasible basically to print those shells. They were too big and it would take too much time. So I was about to start printing the plastic shell mags, and I thought, okay, let's do some improvement to the inserts, because my plan was to print the shells on a new printer that is fast enough and has a good quality, and print the inserts on an old printer which required a lot of hand rework to make reliably working magazines. And I thought, okay, I need to change some walls, move them, you know, add some features and so on. So I did it, and obviously I did not check it. And I'm actually an automotive engineer. I have automotive engineering background, so it should be obvious to me that every single change should be checked prior to some bigger production. So I started to print the inserts. I printed like 120 of them, and what I found out is that they are complete shit, because the changes which I did completely killed the function. The issue was that the BBs, where they were in one stack going down, there was just too much space. They were spread apart and they would jam already on like 10-15 capacity, which was tragedy. Yeah? The magazine was supposed to be 42 rounds and suddenly it was barely, 15-10. What I'm saying is that I produced like 120 or maybe even 140 inserts that were basically useless and to be thrown to the trash. I spent a lot of time figuring out what's wrong, and I found out that the main issue for it was just like I explained, the fact that the BBs in a single stack mag don't go in a single line, but due to the excessive clearance they are running out to the sides. So the force is not distributed evenly, it's distributed to the sides and it basically pushes the mag apart. And here I made an observation why it was not possible to achieve higher capacity in the resin magazine, because resin basically was very dimensionally unstable. So what it caused is that when it was hot, basically it expanded and there was too much clearance on the BBs. So a tight mag maybe would be working well, but then in a cold temperature it would contract, it would push the insert much more together, closer, and the tight mag basically was so tight that it was not working. Yeah? The BBs would be basically jammed because of the friction even going straight down. And the opposite, it could not be too big because maybe in cold this would work, but then in a hot environment the BBs would have the same issue with a single stack spreading to the sides and pushing the insert apart. So this production was a complete failure, but it basically showed me the way how to go. So what I figured out is that now with the plastic shell I have much better stable dimensions, because this plastic is not so dependent on the temperatures in which we are playing and using them to, let's say, 50 degrees ambient, yeah? And it was possible to make a tight mag. And the size of the tunnel was chosen in such a way that it would allow the BBs to go just straight and access the force on the next BBs in the track in a straight line. And this way it was possible to transfer this force all the way till the end of the mag through a much longer BB track, which in turn increased the capacity. Yeah? So this is what I learned. And this is how the FMAG originally V8 came to be, and with a now change of the spring supplier to a little, let's say, better quality springs, it allowed to reach even 58 rounds. So why I'm telling this story? Because I think actually it's kind of educational, because what you learn from it is that first of all you should not approach all the topics like you know better, yeah, because basically that's what I did, and I lost a lot of time and money on producing parts that are to be thrown out. Second lesson is, if you like to design anything or try anything new, always check how it works, yeah, because if you know better and you just rely on your experience, maybe you will actually be mistaken and you will lose a lot of effort on creating or producing something that basically doesn't work. And the third lesson that comes from this is that even if you fail, there is always some benefit that you can take from this failure. So of course I failed badly. As I said, I lost lots of time and money. My production plan, let's say, was completely destroyed because I was not able to print even a single magazine that would be working. And in turn this brought me to a much better solution that works better, has a higher capacity, and all the community will, appreciate it much more. The 3 colors of magazines, 3 lessons I took from the failure on the FMAG V8, how it was created. This is the topic of this video. The magazines, as I said, they are available already for some time, 8.1 version, 58 rounds capacity, will be published on the codes finally, so I'm sorry it took so much time. Thank you for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think about the content. I appreciate all your feedbacks. Leave likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and for now, that's all. May the power of GBBR be with you. And for all these wasted inserts, thank you for the lesson, but the time has come to dump you into the trash. Koniec.